Hi, I'm Darrell.
And I'm Elia.
And we are Black Nerdy Scholars. So, finally moved in enough to feel like I live in a house and not just a abandoned warehouse. It's been nice. Yeah, like got the PC set up, got clothes hangers. I don't know. Like I don't know the metric for moved in. I guess like I actually had this conversation with a friend like a year ago that's like what makes a house feel lived in. And the thing that we settled on is like pictures.
Yeah.
Like pictures of yourself denoting time. That seems to be the thing that separates a house from a home, for whatever worth that metric is.
Oh, I guess the metric for me is once I get my anime posters up.
Sure. Yeah. I need to get all my anime posters up and stuff.
Once you got access to your PC, your clothes, your dishes,
and
your posters up, shit, that's home enough for me.
Yeah, no, it's been nice. Yeah. I'm enjoying it. I love having the space. But enough about me. Well, you will, or else. Blur that out. How have you been? What are you up to?
I've been sick this week, so I haven't been up to as much as I
anticipated.
Not quite. I hope not.
That's a joke.
I don't remember. Yes, y'all. I don't actually have it. I have not been on any cruises recently. Yeah. Can't afford that, so I'm good. But yeah, I had a bad cold this week, which I tend to get, I guess, from living on campus.
Yeah.
And since I'm a gym goer, I imagine that might intensify my chances of getting sick. But
yeah,
I'm like, the only solution is I move off campus. I mean, I can mask up for sure.
I'm sure this is like people probably get the context, but like if you teach, you're gonna get sick.
Yeah,
you're gonna get
no
sick.
matter
the
what
students
age
are gonna
range.
pass it to you. They're 18-year-olds,
18 to 20-year-olds. It's the 18-year-olds,
right? It's the legal adults that are like, well, my immune system's good, so I can just tough this out and I can't miss class. And I'm like,
no, miss class.
Please,
always miss class.
Stay home. Please stay home. Yeah.
I remember. I won't even mark you absent. Shit, like there's no incentive to come to class.
Like genuinely.
We're not learning that much.
When you were in grade school, did they ever give out like accolades for like missing the fewest amount of classes?
Not at my school, but I did hear about people who get like perfect attendance awards and stuff. I was pretty good with my attendance in school always.
There's this one student that I vaguely remember in elementary school that he got perfect attendance every single year, to the point where by the time we started splintering off because of like talented and gifted programs and stuff like that, they were like the most consecutive days of school of any student. And in hindsight, I'm like, and that doesn't guarantee nothing. Like you're rewarding. What metric does
work
attendance
culture
show?
Unhealthy work culture.
I've always been very liberal towards attendance in my teaching.
I have too. Shit, I even tell my students, it might just be a day you're not feeling it. Mm-hmm. Just shoot me an email and I'll excuse your absence.
I'll use that exact language too. It's like, if you're sick, stay home. If something happens, stay home. If you wake up and you're just like,
you're just not feeling it.
Today's not it. Stay home.
Shit, I cancel class sometimes when that happens to me, just saying.
Yeah, but don't tell them that. It's different.
Yeah, I won't tell them that.
They'll look at you different.
But it's cool because this is my last class forever, so.
Well, not forever.
Okay, not forever.
We're probably going to do workshops
of academia.
Yeah. Yay, how's that feel?
Good, because I don't hate it. Like, I feel like if I was teaching more what I want, I would enjoy it more. I got a taste of it with making my own course show, but I just find it rather tedious and just a chore with the other stuff I'm expected to do on top of it. So I'm just happy to not have to do it anymore.
Yeah. No, I am right there with you. It's weird being like post student for
Yeah,
the
because that's
first time in my adult life.
we spent most of our life being students. My parents
Yeah.
always joke about it, but I've been in school since kindergarten. I haven't stopped, and I'm 28. I'm about to be 28 next
Been
week.
in
So
school since kindergarten. Yeah.
preschool,
That
actually,
most
because
people. That's fair. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Which
25 years.
I guess is not. I think it's this is gonna be obvious, but it's only weird because of our career path. Like
Yeah.
when people graduate from college, I'm sure there's a little bit of like a I'm now post student. What do I do with my life?
Yes.
Um, but I think it's like there are a lot of people that are all going through that with you at the same time. Where I'm
Yes.
like in my 30s now, and I'm like, finally, I have stopped being a student,
Yes.
right? Um,
And it's a
I don't
little.
know.
I think it's even more unique or a little different for us as humanities students because I find
Hmm.
that if you look at other uh post grad programs and other grad programs and like STEM and whatnot, you're usually going in straight from like undergrad versus I find in humanities a lot of people will like go into the workforce. They'll like do other things before returning to school. So even they have it seems like they have more life experience, if
Hmm.
that makes sense. And
Sure.
then I feel even a little
There's
different
also
because
like a different
yeah,
pipeline to careers for STEM students where it's like they're
yeah.
kind of applying for jobs way earlier in the post grad
Oh yeah, for sure.
like curriculum, I guess, than humanities students. They are competing in a way that we didn't really have to compete. And so and then also a lot of their coursework is like lab work. And
Yes.
so it probably feels like there's a different step where like
It feels more
yeah,
career oriented, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Like
for
you're
sure.
expected to have lab experience before you even enter your graduate program. Like it feels like you're doing all this for a direct career pipeline and it's way more indirect in the humanities, for sure.
Yeah, totally. Totally. All right. Well, if you stuck around through all the school stuff, now let's get to the nerd shit. Let's do some
Yeah.
content catch up. What are you watching or reading or listening to?
I watched this movie that was with my roommate. She's doing her quals, so I've been
Mm-hmm.
watching some of the movies she's been using for her exams. Uh, but I actually watched this movie called The Watermelon Man. It's from the
Mm,
70s. And have you heard of Godfrey Cambridge? He's a comedian.
no.
He came up with like Bill Cosby, Dick Gregory, Nipsey Russell, that era of
Oh,
comedians.
I've seen him before.
Yeah, but it was
Okay.
actually quite an interesting movie, and of course, like most stuff about race from
Mm-hmm.
like 50-ish years ago, it still resonates
Mm-hmm.
with our time, but it's basically about this racist white man who wakes up and he's black and he's like,
Uh-huh.
what the fuck happened? So he's trying to like figure it out, blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
it was quite interesting actually. And I was very intrigued because there's like
It's
a
a film
dynamic.
from 1970.
Yeah, so it's the old one.
Okay.
It's I want to say I tried to mention it to my parents, but like they haven't seen it. They would have been like 2 or 6 respectively when it came out, so it's
Uh-huh.
definitely before their time. But I found
Oh,
it's
whoa. He does whiteface.
yeah, he does whiteface.
Whoa.
It's I should have mentioned that it's a black comedian playing a white man,
The white
and I thought it
insurance
was very
sale.
interesting.
This is the I guess the Wikipedia description.
Hmm.
A white insurance man, Jeff Gerber, gets the surprise of his life when he wakes up and discovers that his skin is now resembles a black man's. Uh, uh, uh whoa, man!
It
The
was
1970s
actually
were a trip.
hilarious. Also, don't tell Erica Kirk about this.
I know this is not the first, nor was it the last. Plot of something like this, but this does
Mhm.
remember or does reminds me of this one novel that I had to read, The Last White Man by
Yeah, I remember that book, you mentioning it.
Mohsen Hamid, the Last White Man. That was a really interesting where it's like uh and not just this white man, but like everyone in the world wakes up and their skin just slowly gets darker. Now, to what
Oh,
shade it does not describe, just dark enough to be registered as a not white person. And
yeah.
then it's like them trying to figure out ways of like recreating a racial hierarchy in the world so that way some people are still the haves and have nots, and so on and so forth.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, I didn't love the book, but it is interesting, and a lot of people do love it. I'm a hater, so I would recommend that book.
We're
Um,
hating critically,
yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah.
We
I
understand why
also
people like it.
I also wanted to add to like the Watermelon Man. I do want to get like read up or watch up, I guess, on some of those older foundational black films because I feel like I that's a big like blind spot in my studies. I've only
Yes,
really seen a couple of the like I've seen what's the In the Heat of the Night, They Call Me, you know what I mean?
yes.
With Sidney Poitier in the Heat of the Night. That was good. That was actually really good. Sidney Poitier, that nigga can act.
Great.
Who knew? who knew? He acts down.
He does.
I also watched what is the movie? It's a blaxploitation film. It's really famous. There's the Marvin Gaye album set to it. Marvin Gaye
I also want to get better
album.
with
Trouble
my
Man.
Trouble
Trouble
Man.
Man. Trouble Man's
I
really
haven't seen that.
interesting. It's really interesting. It's like this dude who's not a pimp. He's just a guy that makes stuff happen. He's like a pimp of the
He's a hustler.
community.
Yeah.
Sure, right? Going around making like protecting his community and stuff like that. But it was this interesting show of masculinity in the I don't know, I guess 70s. I don't remember exactly when Trouble Man came out. Uh where he wasn't just tough, he was also he was stoic but caringly stoic. He would go out of his way to be like, "Hey, here this is money for the children. This is don't fuck with the kids, don't fuck with the women's." Kind of vibe
Okay.
that was very
Yeah,
uh
moral code.
interesting. Or not interesting. It was refreshing in a way that like doesn't translate. I think a lot of people would look at that as hackneyed nowadays. I think a caring masculinity these days it's hard to also be stoic.
Yeah.
I can only think of a few examples that really nails that, and like Kratos, and specifically in the sequel, God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. Um, Geralt of Rivia. Actually, there were more. There were more than I thought. But these are all like fantasy
Yeah, they're not
stories.
in realistic fiction sort of setting.
I'm gonna ask a question, and I feel like the answer's really obvious, but I want to actually like do it justice.
Yes.
Like, what is it about speculative fiction that allows masculinity to be played with in this specific way? Do you know what I mean?
I I
What does fantasy and sci-fi and myth and legend do to like masculinity, for masculinity, that you get these strong stoic figures that are loving dads? You know what I mean?
I wonder, and I don't know if this is directly connected, but I feel like it has to be in the same realm of whatever lets you play with like racial imagery in fantasy in a way
Mm-hmm.
that you can't in like realistic fiction. My brain immediately went to like Fledgling by Octavia Butler
Yeah.
because of what she does, how she utilizes the vampire to make this commentary on
Mm-hmm.
race. So I don't, where was I going with this?
And Fledgling is about vampires. The main character is a black vampire, and they're
Yes.
like, because of her skin,
She has resistance.
She has resistance to some of the negative like defects of vampirism.
Like being affected by the sun and whatnot.
Yeah. Which is not an original idea to Octavia Butler. Love her down. Like that
Yeah.
has been done before. But also I think it was really good. And it was the last novel I think that she published before she tragically passed. And I think there was supposed to be a series. There was supposed to be a sequel to it.
There's supposed to be more, I think.
And I gotta say, it needed a sequel. I love Fledgling.
It did.
It needed more. And
it
like
was gonna be a
in
good
the world
series, I feel like.
Yeah. But I also don't want somebody to like ghostwrite or not ghostwrite. Like what's the word?
Yes.
I don't want somebody else to pick it up.
I think it kind of should be left alone, even with I think some of the thematics I'm not sure would transfer super well, especially with like Shuri, you know, she presents as like a little girl and whatnot, even though she's not a young girl. I'm not sure if we should even open up that can of worms right now.
It's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird. Yeah. It's hard to move past it, but whatever. I picked back up Kagurabachi. Do you know what Kagurabachi is?
Is the anime out yet?
The anime is not out yet. It is coming soon. I think the trailer just dropped recently as of this recording.
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
I didn't watch the trailer. I didn't want to watch the trailer. I want to go into it as blind as possible, even though I've already read it. Kagurabachi is a Shonen Jump manga by a person. I should start learning these mangakas' names. Kagurabachi by Takeru Hokazono.
Yes, I need to learn more than Araki and Gege.
Right. Kishimoto. I don't know if they've done anything else. But it is about a young man getting revenge on the people that killed his father, the maker of like super powerful magic swords, in which he also has to get the swords back. And there's like a little bit of like a politics game. It's a straight up battle shonen. It doesn't do too much to change the formula. I will say
Dragon Ball. Is that a battle shonen?
It is in that lineage.
Okay.
It is in that lineage. I think it is removed enough that it's I don't think it falls into a lot of the same tropes, but its distance from those tropes does not stand out to me personally. I think it's incredible art. Sometimes the fights are like crystal clear and they pop and they are exciting. And sometimes I don't know what the fuck is happening at all. But I'm sure a lot of that will be cleared up in the anime.
Do you think I'd feel attached to the characters? I find that sometimes shonen will, they'll do pretty good with the characterization. Like Jujutsu Kaisen, love the characters.
I personally don't find the characters in Kagurabachi as lovable as something like JJK. I think the protagonist is very not flat, but like monotone.
Okay.
It's like if Megumi was the protagonist of JJK, which I think Gege mentioned kind of wanting that at some point, but I digress. Yeah, I don't find him like he's compelling. I think he fits very well in the world. I think he is a good character to follow in this world. I don't like he doesn't stand out to me. I don't like love him. He doesn't have like he's all right. He's all right. I nothing him. And honestly, most of the characters I kind of nothing. It took me a while to get hooked. There is a like, for lack of better terms, sidekick character that got introduced that I really fucked with. And recently there have been a couple of side characters that I really like the design of that have been helping. But it's really, really good. It's really good. I'm sure the animation for it is going to be awesome. I don't
Is
know
it
who's doing
Mappa
it.
who's doing it?
I was just about to say I don't know who's doing it. Let's see. Anime produced by Psypic.
Oh,
Never.
Psypic. What do
What
they
have you
do?
done?
Psypic animation.
Psypic. Psypic anime. They've done stuff I've never seen
Oh,
before.
hey, that's that freaking anime that I don't know if you remember this, but I kept trying to tell you I couldn't remember what this anime was. I just remember that there was like naked men on the promotional
Ha.
content, but they actually did that anime, The Marginal Service.
Oh,
That's I promise that's all I
the
know about
marginal
it is that
service.
I was compelled by the
Yeah, I've never
promotional
heard of that.
materials because all
Oh,
the men were
they
naked.
did Uma Musume. Uma Musume. The like horse derby horse girl
What?
thing. You don't you you haven't heard about this?
I wasn't really a horse
There's
girl for
this
real. Oh, they're actually little
franchise,
horse
but
girls.
it's a series because I think there's also a game. There's like a phone game, and I don't
Do
know
I
which one came
do you
first.
make them run like
Yeah.
horses?
It's they're like in a horse derby, but instead of it being a person like a jockey on a horse, it's like anime girls that are the horses fully sprinting with their whole bodies. I don't know. It was kind of a meme a little bit when it popped up, especially since on TikTok I got so many ads for it.
I don't know if I like this. Or no, it's not that I don't like it. I'm just
It's not my
imagining
jam. I'm not interested. I don't know.
the kind of person it would attract, and I think I'm scared of them. In the same
Sure.
way I'm afraid of like a brony or something.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did have like one of those horse simulator games as a child though, and
Yeah,
it was quite fun.
Barbie horse or whatever.
One of them Johns, you like take
Yeah,
care of your horse and brush it and
yeah,
shit.
like Nintendogs, Nintendo horse or whatever.
Yeah. Do you ever
Yeah,
think
yeah,
about how our Nintendogs are all just out there in the ether somewhere,
yeah,
just
yeah.
not being taken care of?
Well, a lot of those cartridges are probably destroyed and like dusted and unsalvageable. So no,
It's
they're
kind of
probably
sad.
dead.
No,
Hey
they're dead.
kids, your Nintendog is dead.
You said hey kids, although we're all probably like
Yeah,
30 at this
what kid?
point.
Yeah, it's fully adults that people. There's a
Hey fellow
45-year-old
30
man
and
that's like,
40-year-olds, your
no,
Nintendogs
my
are dead.
Tamagotchi. They're dead. They're dead. Your Neopets, they're dead. They're dead, kids. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Oof. You ready?
Yeah.
Let us get into the discussion of the day.
Mixtape
Mixtape. People online
have
have been
been
freaking out about this video game Mixtape. Mixtape produced by Annapurna Interactive and developed by Beethoven and Dinosaur. People are really weird about it.
yeah,
People are
like I've
really weird
seen
about
a
it.
lot of people who are like fully incensed. Like they're
Yes.
fucking pissed. And I'm like, whoa.
This is the downfall of Western society to some people. Like that's genuinely how some people are reacting to it.
I don't think it should have drawn strong feelings from either side, if that makes
We've
sense.
both
It didn't
played it,
warrant
and I
that.
think the most true thing about it is like y'all are y'all getting worked up for this.
Yeah.
This is so tame.
I thought it was here's a word I like. I thought it was cute. I feel
It
like
was
that's a
cute.
good way.
It was cute. All right, so let's before we get into the
Into it, let's
discourse,
give a little synopsis.
let's do synopsis. Let's do full review of Mixtape before interacting with the dregs of the internet.
Should I give a blurb or should I give like
give the
read
blurb.
off a blurb?
Give the blurb. Some people aren't gamers that
Yeah.
watch this. So here's the video game.
Okay, so Mixtape is a coming of age adventure game, and it's about these three friends, Stacy, Slater, and Cass, and we're seeing their last days of not of school, but it's their final day
It's
together
like their final
before
day together before they
their
split up.
life is gonna split up and change. I've been comparing it a bit to Dazed and Confused, if you've seen that.
Oh
It's
yeah, every generation has had a text like super bad is this, book smart
yeah,
is this. Yeah. There
yeah,
have been a bunch of this exact story.
yeah,
Kids try to find booze as they spend their last day together. Like
yeah.
that's been done and done and done.
It's a nice trope. The last day sort of trope. It We all have last days of sorts,
Mhm.
so I think it's a theme that continues to ring true throughout the generations.
Yeah.
But basically, we find in Mixtape there are these kids, they live in like this Northern California fictional
Mhm.
town, P&W suburban white kids sort of vibe.
Mhm.
And yeah, Stacy, basically her dream is to fly to New York and give her mixtape to this
Like a
woman who,
producer.
yeah, yeah, she wants to be like a music supervisor of sorts,
Yeah.
but it also means that she's gonna miss this road trip that her, Slater, and Cassandra have planned to basically take Cassandra to school. So there's some tension between them because of that.
Mhm.
And we're essentially going through uh Stacy's playlist as she wanted to make the perfect playlist for their last day. And you kind of see how, things don't go as planned, blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
that's basically the premise, I'd say.
Yeah. It part of the reason, and I know I said we wouldn't talk about the external stuff, but part of the reason that it stood out is because it's getting like tens across the board, 10 out
Yeah.
of tens from a lot of different reviewers, and
People were parts with IGN. I know people were talking
uh,
about.
whatever. Like people are gonna say all kinds of things about IGN. It's really stupid and dumb, and we'll talk about it later. Um, I will say from my point of view, I personally wouldn't give it a 10. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine. I think first of all, it's beautiful. It
It's
is a
very beautiful.
stunning game. Stunning game. And it's animated in a way that's like where it like drops frames kind of like into the Spider-Verse, which did not create this style. But it is like the recent pillar of it. I think it's hard to argue that Into the Spider-Verse ushered in like a new golden age of animation. And I
Kind of
think
did.
this is in line with that. Beautiful, stunning game. Beautiful, stunning game.
There's some
And
fun mechanics. Oh,
I
wait,
think
no,
that
continue.
I was going to talk about the music. We talk about the mechanics.
Do you want to do music first, mechanics first?
Music is a central part of the game, ergo mixtape.
Yeah.
And I think I don't care much about the song choices because this whole game is speaking to a nostalgia of like being a teenager in the 90s, and I was not a teenager in the
Yeah.
90s.
I was going to say, I felt like I was able to come in without sort of preconceived notions about what the music could and should be because
Yeah.
I wasn't around during this time period, and also I wasn't a white kid growing up in the
Mhm.
PNW, so I'm like it was all kind of like a new world for
Yeah.
me, if that
Like
makes
I
sense.
I grew up suburban, so there is a
Same.
little bit of the like I get the feeling of being in this town that kind of
Yeah.
like limits your autonomy.
Yeah,
Um
actually, I
yeah.
resonated a bit with Cassandra and some of the things she was going through.
Her specifically, yeah.
Yes.
There's this scene where her like father is entering the house
Yes.
and the music it either cuts out or it goes real low as you can just
Yes.
hear his heavy footsteps, and I was like, oh, this is triggering. Oh boy, do I know what
It had
that
some
feels
moments where
like.
it was really good at, like, creating tension and sort of using music to set the atmosphere and
That's what
stuff.
I was going to say, right? Like, even though I don't really like, I think I've maybe heard of one or two of those songs before. The only song that I knew for sure they didn't play because she mentioned "This Is How You Do It" by Montel Jordan, and then they
Yeah.
didn't play it, and I was like, "Oh, you motherfuckers! Like, why would you
I
do
was
that?"
ready when
I was so
Cassandra came
ready, but
back.
they didn't play it. Um, the way they integrate the music into the different scenes and just like little things like controlling when the like headphones are on and off. If you they do a good job of transitioning where the song is playing from when you're controlling it into the cutscene when you're not controlling it, which I thought was really impressive, right? Especially since these are licensed songs that are not meant for
Yeah,
video
these are
games,
real songs.
real songs. That it's like if I waited 10 minutes to trigger this cutscene, it would pick up exactly where I was listening to it. And I thought that was really fun, and it felt very immersive.
Yes. It felt
Yes.
like if there is a sound award to be given when the game awards come around, or like
Mhm.
I don't know the different
There
categories.
there's like best score, best like music and stuff like that.
I
I
think
think there's a best soundtrack. I don't remember.
it definitely could earn an award with just how it utilized the music, not even
Mhm.
necessarily the music itself. I feel like it did that quite well. I
Mhm.
think it was very promising as far as what an interactive novel game could look like. I know a
Mhm.
lot of people are like visual novels, blah blah blah. These are not
Yeah, like there's
games and
some
stuff.
debate about whether a visual novel is a game, and it is.
Yeah,
It
I'm like,
is. There is
it
a
also,
ludic element to them, so like
I'd
it is
argue it not being considered like an actual game is probably linked to like misogyny or something.
a little bit.
Yeah, because it's like, shoot, bomb.
So
That's game.
I guess I'll say that, right? Because one of the major complaints that a lot of the people online have had is that the game you don't play this game, and as
Yeah,
someone who played the game, yeah, you do.
yeah, you do.
You do play it. You do control things. I
I
think
definitely was.
mhm,
I've crashed into a few things on that
right.
skateboard. I gotta say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You like there is a thing you have to do. I think what the complaint is, the actual criticism is that they're not making, is that there aren't stakes to it,
Yeah,
which I
I'll
think is
say
fair. It
there.
doesn't
I
bother
think I do
me.
think that's fair, especially since I even think I feel like something to compare it to that might be a more valid genre comparison would be something like Dispatch,
Yeah,
where you know the objective is to get through the story, but the
yeah,
story also changes based on your choices. So I've seen
yeah.
a lot of critiques where it's like it felt like I didn't have any impact on the story, which I'll say is one of the measures I'd say for a good visual novel or interactive novel
Hmm.
is how much does my actual interaction affect the story or
But
change it?
even then, I would argue most video games you don't interact with the story.
Oh,
Most of
that's
the times
fair.
you can control your character. I'm like I don't know why this is the example, but I'm thinking like Uncharted, right?
Yeah.
You control there are sections where you control Nathan Drake, right? Where you like
Yeah.
do all the stuff. But when you break it down to its basest, like if you reduce it, because this is not how I genuinely view video games, it can be described as you just getting from cutscene to cutscene, right?
Yeah.
And no matter what you do before the cutscene, you're gonna have the cutscene the same way when you get to the cutscene. So,
Mhm.
like, the only stake you genuinely have is whether or not you get there.
Okay. I think I'm a little too let me draw back my interactive novel brain.
Yeah, but I think there are games that are visual novel, like Telltale kind of games that do have substantial change, and this game feels closer to them.
Yeah.
Where, like you mentioned, Dispatched. You
Yeah.
if you cut sonar's gone. I have then affected the story. The
You
story has
piss off
reacted to
Malevola and
me,
stuff.
and this game feels like it should be like that, and it isn't. And I think that is a fair criticism.
Yeah.
That's not what people are saying.
Oh no. They're like, why
They're
didn't
like,
this song get included?
it's
Whereas
not a game because I don't have to touch the controller. Okay, man. Yeah, it's not a bath if I don't. I don't. That's not. That's not. That's not a
It's
good.
not a bath
That's
if I
not a
don't
good
turn on
one.
the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the critiques where it's like, eh.
I
Debating
also.
whether or not this qualifies as a game just feels like a useless ass
It's
discussion
such a
to me.
non-metric. It is only a way to
Yeah.
justify
Why
like
you don't like it.
getting upset at a thing. Again, kind of like our last episode. You guys are hating wrong. Just be
Yeah.
haters. You don't need to manufacture a way to be morally right. You just say
Yeah.
I don't fuck with this.
I've
All
seen some
right.
people, yeah. I'll say I have seen more people hating a little more correctly than
I want to
I.
before we get too far away from the like mechanic stuff and
Yeah.
the stakes, the low stakes. I'm gonna put on like literary scholar hat
Yeah.
and say a thing that I was thinking about the whole time. That I know some people will listen to this and say I'm doing too much or I'm dragging or stuff like that. I think the lack of stakes and the like which things you interact with and how simple those things are, I think that works thematically for the setting and the plot because as suburban teens, so much of your life is on rails, and the moments that many of the moments that stand out to you in your childhood are the moments where you have control. And while I don't have control of like where I live or like what I have for dinner, I can control where I ride to on my skateboard. I can control where this couch goes in my little hideout. Right? I can control the way I interact my tongue with another person that I'm kissing, right? Those
Yeah.
tiny moments of control have no stakes. They don't have stakes. Just like a lot of teenage life, you don't have stakes really. You are guarded and protected and still rebelling against this thing that is intended to protect
Yes.
you.
It was interesting because I felt like
Ooh, careful.
I saw a lot of critiques about how they displayed teenage rebellion. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I know a lot of people were getting into like, this isn't, you're metal, but you're not actually countercultural, which I thought was interesting because I felt like that was a little kind of like they had like a tongue in cheek kind of thing going on
Mm-hmm.
about it. Like I remember when she was when my girl, why did I forget her name? Stacy, when she was talking to Slater and they were talking about clothes or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, are wearing cargo pants metal, Slater?"
Mm-hmm.
And Slater was like, "Yeah." And then Cassandra was like, wearing something from like the military complex that's metal.
Mm-hmm.
So it just I thought this idea that it should have been super I don't know, this I
Uh-huh.
lost my train of thought.
I'll add a thing. I think the
Thank you.
critique about the genuine, like the earnestness of their countercultural, the rebellion, is moot for
Yeah.
two reasons. Like diegetically, like within the narrative. One, so much of the story is told from their imagination, from the way being this age at this time feels like when they're running through the
Yes.
field and they're like flying and stuff, or like when they're
Yeah.
running around and stuff's blowing up around them. That's not literally happening. That's just what it feels like in this moment. And so when they are rebelling or when they are being rebellious, that is how they feel. It is articulating the feeling of this 18-year-old 97 angst.
Yes.
And also, oh, these 18-year-olds aren't genuinely revolutionaries? Yeah.
When I saw so many critiques of the specifically the scene where Cassandra is standing up to her dad and she's like, "You better let me go to school. I'm a fucking wild the fuck out," basically. And everyone was like,
Oh, there's spoilers ahead. By the sorry,
oh
we're saying
my bad,
spoilers.
y'all.
No, we've been spoiling the whole time, but better late than never.
Yes, yes, but I saw somebody they're like, "Oh yeah, this felt so corny, like blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't know, as someone who had very strict parents growing up,
Mhm.
that that's really kind of how it feels when you first start standing up to your parents.
Yeah.
You just kind of it feels like you're
It
doing
feels
something
like that.
revolutionary.
Yeah.
It feels like you're setting the world on fire. You're finally taking something for
Yeah.
yourself. So I
When
felt like
when
that,
you're
yeah.
18, this is the biggest moment of rebellion for a lot of people
Yeah,
that are in these like suburban, like predominantly white neighborhoods.
especially when it comes to college, because that's for a lot of people, that's your first moment of some kind of freedom.
Yeah.
And a lot of people's parents are like, "Oh, I don't want you to go far away, or you should like stay close to home." They try to like, control how they do that. So for a lot of people, this is like their first moment of, having some kind of agency and doing something specifically on their own.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was good. I will say I don't think this point specifically, but kind of I think some of the writing was overly cliche. I think a critique that I have that is in the same vein. My critique is not that, oh well, these kids aren't actually rebellious. My critique is your idea, the writer's idea of rebellion is exactly the same as every other movie it's emulating. It has
Yeah,
nothing new to say about this time, about teenage angst. It
we
has
sneak
nothing new
out,
to
we tiki
say.
houses, we
Like
go to parties.
obviously, but based on like the movie and the music that's included and the references, this is a love letter to a specific time,
Yeah.
and that is it. Like that is it. And if you don't care about late Gen X like teenagehood and like that kind of story, this game is not for you. Don't play it. You're not going to have a good time. I think so many people, so many reviewers gave it 10 out of 10s. One, because a lot of them probably are that age.
Yeah, it
And
probably
then
resonates with them personally.
it probably resonates with them personally. And the vibe it pitches is pristine. It's not
Animation, immaculate, love it.
it I felt like it captured the historical period comparable to the first season of Stranger Things. The first season of Stranger Things is impeccable. Don't watch anything else. Don't pretend the rest doesn't exist. But that first season, it
Oh, it's actually the only
captures.
season I've seen.
You don't need to see anymore. Don't watch anymore. It'll
Bet.
only make you
I
mad.
don't get to see Will turn gay, damn it.
Nope. Nope. He's not gay no more. He's been delivered.
And 11 with
Um
fillers.
yeah, don't watch anymore. But I think that part of the reason why I think that first season is so perfect and so beloved is because it nails the vibe. It nails the space and the aura. Like I know this is digital media, but it's so loved and cared for that it feels like it engages more senses than are accessible to you, right? I don't I don't want to use the term immersive because I think different people have different meanings for that, but it is all encompass it you can feel it all around you when you engage with the media. And I think that does a good job. And if you don't care about that, you're going to hate the game.
I'm I hope I get to see a game like this again. I
Yeah.
hope somebody takes the mechanics and they take what was set. I felt like it was a good foundation for a really incredible game in the same format to be made.
Mhm.
So I'm very interested in seeing how it influences potential. I'm gonna keep calling it an interactive
Yeah. Just
novel
to
game.
save the your space, right? One thing that is not a criticism because I don't think the game should be judged on this, but something that I wish was different, especially since how it feels like Life is Strange and to an extent Dispatch, like those kinds of telltale episodic
Yeah,
games. I think the game would be better if it were episodic. Like if it were released in
yeah,
bunches. because the game is very short. It's like 3-4 hours tops, which is a lot of people's complaint. And whatever, that's a moot point for me. Who cares?
Yeah, same.
For some reason, there's a huge conversation about like, if a game isn't long enough, it's not worth the money. You don't have to buy it, dog. You can save your money.
I don't really pick games based on how long they're. I mean, I understand wanting to invest in a game you're gonna play over time, perhaps, you know, and have like repeat return value.
I would argue games are too long. and I know that's hard to justify.
I don't finish most games, honestly.
I agree. I don't finish most games just because like I get tired, or it
something else
overstays
catches
its
my
welcome,
attention.
or something else catches my attention. I
don't
think a
mind
lot
a
of
short game.
In fact, I think a lot of media is too long. I think movies are too long. I think not every movie needs to be 3 hours. And if it is 3 hours, give me a potty break.
That so many people are nostalgic for the old TV format, or just how, you know, you would get like 10 seasons, 20 episodes a season. And
that's
I'm like,
something that I wish was longer. I do miss older TV. I miss serialization.
I understand that. I just sometimes I watch some of the old shows and I'm like, damn, they really did not need this episode.
So but you're watching them now.
True.
And it is different. And like, I'm sure you remember, it was different being like, we're all going to get together and watch this one episode this Thursday. And then we're going to wait until next Thursday to watch that episode. And yes, some of those episodes are stinkers. Sometimes you're blindsided with a bottle episode or a clips episode, and it's like, I waited all week for this one. I guess I'll wait for next week, right? But maybe I think that was better. I think that's better than 8 episodes dropped all at the same time. Sorry, I'm talking over you. Go ahead.
No, I was talking over you first. But now I was like, I think I've been watching too much HBO. Although I do fully agree that like the once a week format is the best format. I like that some shows are going back to that. Like HBO is still doing the once a week shit. I
hate the like stupid third option that they're going with, where it's like, we're gonna drop 3 episodes, or we're gonna drop half the season and then half the season later.
What is that?
Just do it. Just do it one a week. Why are we doing them in bunches like this? That's how Bridgerton released.
Not to bring up Euphoria again, but I feel like Euphoria is proof that we can have the once a week episode format and that people actually enjoy that.
I think it's just better. Anyway, back to Mixtape. I think the game would be better episodic, because even though the game is so short, by the end of it, I was like, I really want to stop playing this game. I think it overstayed its welcome because it's one thing.
Yeah, but if we were splitting it up, it would have felt a little tedious once I got to the end. But I'm like, wait, if I was just doing it like Dispatch, where I'm reading a chapter a week, blah blah blah, I think it would have felt less drawn out.
I agree.
Because it does feel like when you get a game that's that length, that I always want to play it in one sitting, which is, you know,
especially since it's so short.
Yeah, because I was also playing not to pivot into the game. You've played Little Nightmares, right?
I'm aware of Little Nightmares. I've played Remnant, which is made by the same by the creators.
Yes. Oh, just if you don't know, Little Nightmares is just what it kind of sounds like. You're playing as a little kid and trying to escape some type of nightmare world. But it's also really short. But why was I bringing up short games?
We were talking about episodic things.
Yeah, that absolutely is not episodic. I don't know why I brought it up.
Yeah. I think for a Mixtape, I wouldn't even rate it a score, because I think the things that I enjoyed most about my time are not the game, and more so like thinking about theme and game design and the way mechanics flow into a narrative. But if I had to give it my own personal rating, I'd probably like 7. Maybe
that's actually what I decided on. 7.
It's a cute, fun little romp. if you're not good at video games, this is something that you can try. If you're nostalgic for this time, this is the game for you. And if you're not
If
those
you're
things, you're not going to like it. Now, the people online
they're so
are losing
bad.
their freaking minds. Because
I'm like, oh my
it's
God.
not just, I don't like it. It's this is what's wrong with gaming.
I heard they were like, this is what happens when Nepo babies pay.
Yeah,
review companies.
I hate that, right? So
Yes.
Annapurna Interactive, which is the publisher of this game, is owned and founded by, what's her name? Megan
Woman
Ellison.
owned. What's her
Megan
name?
Ellison.
Sorry.
Huh?
Repeat her name.
Megan Ellison.
Megan Ellison,
who is the daughter of, what's his name? Larry Ellison, who is the devil.
Oh.
Larry Ellison is ontologically evil.
He made Oracle?
Yes.
Oh.
He also like owns most TV stations. He's in the cabal. He is described as a quasi-billionaire or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah. He's ungodly rich. And she is his daughter. Now, I'm sure that the money he made, the blood money he made, went into her producing this. And I know he's also helped bail out the Annapurna during COVID, right? And no matter what, fuck him.
Yeah, for sure.
But also, you guys aren't mad that a Nepo baby made this. You're just mad because people told you to be mad. Because Annapurna also made goats like What Remains of Edith Finch published, and Outer Wilds, which is a lot of people's like favorite game.
Isn't that interesting how they'll switch up based on if they like the game or not?
Yeah, like it's I don't believe this, but pretend for a second. I kind of miss when they said woke. I feel like they don't say woke no more.
They only use it as a diss, like the alt-right has adopted it.
And even then, I don't see it nearly as much. But it's like, when it's bad, it's woke. When it's good, it's not woke. Right? And so all the same issues that you have with Megan Ellison also apply to the Outer Wilds. And if you're a true hater and you're like, fuck that game too, respect.
At least you're consistent.
You're consistent.
You know,
but if you fucked with that game and all of a sudden it's a problem, you're a liar.
Cap. You know, I think about it when it comes to like Pitchfork. You know, they review all the albums and stuff. And I was talking about a Pitchfork review with my friend, and my friend was like, I love when Pitchfork aligns with my musical agenda. And I kind of think a lot of people are like that with reviews of games and stuff from places like IGN. Like, I like when it gives the score to the game that I think it deserves. But if it
feels good to feel like sanctioned.
Yeah, but if it doesn't, then it's like, this. You see a lot of people, they're like, this shit is wrong. These people are not qualified. They're being paid off. They're being paid off by.
But even then, I think it goes so far beyond individual people's like discomfort with having dissonant ratings. I think the reason I was like, I kind of miss when they use the word woke. This just feels like culture war bullshit. It feels exactly the same. Right?
Yeah.
This game is woke, right? And even if it isn't about the subject matter, it's this idea that this game does not fit with my view of video games, this thing that I've used to define my identity. And if other people are praising it, then that means it is either not for me anymore or infiltrated by people that are actively like trying to bring my life down. Right?
The woke.
It's great replacement theory with extra steps.
Oh, not
right?
the.
It's Gamergate again. It's just Gamergate. It never happened. Gamergate in conjunction with Jeffrey Epstein have defined American politics for the last decade.
Oh, this is so interesting because I'm reading about Dracula a lot right now, and I'm reading about.
Where are you going with this?
Okay, hear me out. Wait, because they're talking about reverse colonization, the concept of a reverse colonization narrative, which is essentially just stories where you know European countries are being infiltrated by like others
Mm-hmm.
of whatever other means in that specific genre.
Mm-hmm.
But it finds that like with uh with these like primarily white groups, which I imagine like a lot of these gaming spaces are like primarily white,
Mm-hmm.
when there's like an inclusion of people that fit outside of this demographic, there's almost like this knee-jerk reaction to like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
being replaced, or like what I'm interested in is like being diluted. This is not for me anymore. So it's like the reaction is to like kind of freak out as if
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah.
they're gonna be replaced in the same way it was, but
Right.
really we're
Because
just seeing
it's
it.
one thing
Yeah.
to not like the game.
Yeah.
More power to you. I don't like a lot of games.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. It's one thing to go like, I hate games like this. Okay. But it doesn't seem to stop there. A lot of people are like, no, we need to speak out about it to stop games like this from being made again. And I'm
Which is
like,
nuts.
to whose benefit? I mean, yours, obviously. But I genuinely think a lot of these people are like, no, there is an in-group of gamers, like I'm just reiterating the thing you've already said.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
for
a man.
sure.
That's just how I operate. Um, there's an in-group, and this
Yep.
signals that in-group that I've defined myself might not include only me anymore. And that's scary. That's scary to some people. I think going back to the point about longer video games, I think people are latching onto playtime as a metric more intently recently, realistically because of capitalism. They're like,
Yeah.
games are getting more expensive. I'm not keeping as much of my money. I need this thing to be worth it.
Longer game equals you deserve more money, which is that's oh my
Right.
gosh, it's just capitalism.
And if you personally don't want to spend money on a game that's too short, more power
Don't
to
do it.
you. But again, not what they're saying. They're like, these games should
Abolish
not be made.
Mixtape.
Literally. We need to eradicate this other
Abolish Megan
parentheses
Ellison.
video game from the earth, right? And also to the Gamergate thing, it's like the other that they're afraid of are like women and non-white people. A thing that this game kind of signals towards. Maybe less so than non-white people. Well, kind of, right? Because this game is in the same vein as like South of Midnight, which is non-white.
Play that.
It has similar like aesthetic to it. I think that is more of a video game, like mechanically than this, but still, it signals to a certain demographic that is not hardcore white gamer saying the N-word in a COD lobby. And I think a lot of the people that are reacting so antagonistically to this, I think you guys are scared. And I think that's okay.
It's always about fear. It's always about anxiety.
But I just gotta ask, like, what are you afraid of? I mean, I know the answer, but
because I know what the Victorians were afraid of when Dracula got ran.
Mm-hmm.
They were afraid they were gonna get replaced and that their land was gonna be colonized in the same way they did to other people.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what?
A thing that nobody was doing and no one was advocating for.
Yes.
And if they were advocating for it, they were met with laughs because it's like, really? Women
It's not
are
real.
not coming for your video games.
It's not real.
It's
Your
not
fears
real.
are not real.
This
Based
is
in reality.
you are facing a boogeyman. And I get it. Right? It's not all your fault that you're reacting to it this way. You have been conditioned by the socioeconomic powers that be, by the dominant political forces that be, by Jeffrey Epstein himself. You were conditioned by
Fuck you
4chan and Reddit
microtransaction
and Twitter
asshole.
and Elon Musk to think that if people that aren't you get any kind of gain, that is going to come at the cost of you. And I just want you to know that's not true. We can all be happy. The women aren't coming for your games. They just also play games.
This is the shit that got affirmative action.
Literally. Literally. Oh, but if this group of people has access to education, then they're going to kill me.
Well,
I mean, no, they're not. I don't know. I know a lot of people's reaction to that very loud minority of gamers that are anti this game and anti games like it. I know the reaction is typically anger or frustration. I encourage people to choose apathy. Let them yell. Let them cry and moan.
Just sit back.
And I'll say from my point of view, I will engage with empathy. I know a lot of people are like, no, these incel QAnon like losers need to be punished. I don't feel that way. I'm not pro punitive justice. I think people can be rehabilitated. And I wish I could talk to each and every one of them individually and just ask, like, what do you lose by games like this existing? And I feel like I know what the answer would be. And the answer is irrational. And it comes from a place of fear.
I always like to keep a bit of optimism in me. I think keeps you going. I don't like to think most people are irredeemable or anything, you know.
And like even in the issues that exist, they are structural. I know this is like Black Nerdy Scholars. We talk about anime and movies and stuff. All of the art and media that we're reacting to and all of the discourse surrounding it is colored by the status of the world. And things aren't great right now.
Art is a direct reflection. It's culture being reflected back at you.
It's a mirror. No, but unironically.
But yeah, for real.
And like I think people are looking at the mirror and they don't like what they see. And instead of going, why do I look like that in the mirror? They're going, the mirror should be broken. And I think that's how a child thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Grow the fuck up. Just kidding.
If all the stuff we said about Mixtape interests you, I'd say pick it up. It is a lovely short experience.
It's chill.
It's very chill. Wait for a sale if you need to. That's fine.
Yeah.
And while you're playing Mixtape, Leah, where can they find us?
You can find us on any place that they have podcasts, and more recently, you could find us in our Discord server.
Our Discord server.
Yeah. So come
yeah.
chat. Yeah, we're gonna do other stuff eventually. You know, get a book club or some type of movie club together. So stay tuned.
I do think we should read the Odyssey. I think my real life in person friends want to read the Odyssey in preparation.
Let's do it. I've never read it. Have I read it to completion? I feel like I've only read it in parts.
Because I'm pretty sure we read it in undergrad in a class we shared. Yeah.
Something like
that. You can also find us on Patreon, where for $5 a month, you get access to our after show office hours, where we're a little looser, a little riskier. We consume a little legal substance. It's just more fun, pod after the pod. Here's a little sneak peek.
it was there. People were watching heterosexual heated rivalry right now. Basically, there's a series called Off Campus, and it's made by this named Elle Kennedy. Is that her name? She's a Canadian.
The only thing worse than heated rivalry that I could think
is
of
heterosexual
heated rivalry.
I think the season that came out, and I feel like everybody who's saying it's good, y'all lying.
Wait, is it?
It's based on a book series where it's basically the same vibe as heated rivalry in the sense that you have like standalone books about romantic pairings and there's like different scenarios. The main actress girl is like 19,
Ella Bright.
So I'm already like, all right.
If you can afford it, please send it our way. If not, please like, comment, subscribe the video. And until we see you next, stay black, stay nerdy, and read books.
Please read
books. There's got to be some good like slice of life coming of age novels recently that capture like I guess like millennial, maybe even Gen Z at this point. Like what are the current like hitters for coming of age novels?
I gotta tune into
the cutting
YA.
age.
I'm a little tapped
out. A lot of
YA
is like really romantic-y right now. I don't know. We'll
heated
find
rivalry. Just kidding.